My name's Katie Ewers and I am a professional careers advisor and life coach. And I'm here today to talk to you about the next in my series of opportunities out in the world and job opportunities out in the world. And today I'm talking to you about civil engineering. Now, there are two types of civil engineer. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about consulting civil engineering. Two different things. Okay, so these are the branches of engineering that I always put at the beginning, and I can cover any of these subjects and some of the smaller subsidiaries of engineering. So let me know if there's a particular job you'd like me to post within engineering or in any other part of the job market. Just send me a message or put a note in the description box. So if you want to be a consulting civil engineer, not a contracting civil engineer, a consulting engineer is the initial design process. So you need an interest in design and construction. It's important in the field of civil engineering anyway, but design will be your focus if you want to be a consulting civil engineer. So you'll be involved in the design and development and construction as well of projects in the built natural environment. You'll liaise with all involved, make plans, manage, design, supervise the construction because you're the designer at the end of the day. You may choose to specialise in a certain area of civil engineering because there's many areas. You might specialise in buildings, coastal and marine, dams, canals, the built environment like roads, geotechnical engineering, highways and transportation, power, railways, even tunnelling, waste management, water and public health. So if you're a consulting civil engineer, you're the first phase, you're like the designer, depending on what specialism you are linked to. So responsibilities for you as a design civil engineer or consulting civil engineer is you complete the technical feasibility and site investigations to make sure your design is going to work in the environment, create and develop detailed designs, complete risk assessments for projects and specialist roles because it's very dangerous at times and you need very, very stringent risk assessments, especially for anything around construction or anywhere where there's any risk or danger. Put together proposals ensuring that procedures are followed, very important. Visit contractors on site and advise on civil engineering issues, so you be the specialist on site. Help develop junior staff with guidance and mentoring, because at first, when you're the junior, you're going to be mentored and guided by more senior civil engineers. And you will eventually be, after experience, you will mentor and advise other people. Communicate effectively with all involved, from customers to other professionals. Think creatively and logically to resolve design and development problems. Manage the budget and resources, lead teams of other engineers, be adaptable. The client might change their mind about the design at any time, so you would need to be adaptable and be able to change things around where necessary, because you've got to meet the needs of the client. And if the client changes their mind, you need to have the adaptability to be able to change the designs to suit. Compile and check and approve reports and project drawings. Use computer-aided design or CAD packages for designing projects. Schedule material, equipment, purchases and delivery to all arrive where it's needed. Attend public and private meetings to discuss the project. Ensure that you have building permits, satisfied regulations, policies and building practices. Ensure that our project runs on time and within budget. Correct any project deficiencies that affect production quality and safety requirements. Right, what to expect when you're a civil engineer or a design civil engineer. When you're a civil engineer, it involves a lot of office-based activities. You do regular visits to sites, particularly if you're a new graduate. You may have to travel long distances and conditions could be cold, messy and unpleasant, especially if you're spending a lot of time on cold, rainy days on construction sites. You do have the possibility that that could happen. Only after years of proven professional experience, you can start your own consultancy firm if you desired, working for yourself. The engineering industry is keen to encourage the recruitment of female engineers. So if you're a girl interested in engineering, it's a great time for you to get into engineering. Social conditioning up to now has really made engineering a very male-dominated job to have. But we want to change that. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, you're just as good, if not better, at engineering. So if you're a woman thinking about going into engineering, now is the time to do it. There are many, you can go to here. Organisations that actively support women to enter the engineering profession include the Women's Engineering Society, WES, and WISE, Women into Science and Engineering and Construction. It's worth looking at that online and having a look into how women are supported into engineering. Employers, mainly civil engineering consultancies, surprise, surprise, civil engineering contractors, the Environment Agency, Defence Engineering and Science Group, local authorities, property developers, transport infrastructure companies, water companies, electric companies, anyone in that sort of area will employ civil engineers, consulting civil engineers, as well as contracting civil engineers. Skills you'll need as a consulting or design civil engineer are technical competence, most definitely, because you'll be doing technical drawings and they've all got to be to scale and it's all got to fit the environment. Strong numeracy and IT skills, most definitely. Excellent communication and team working skills. Ability to work to budgets and deadlines. Knowledge of the relevant building legislation. Good attention to detail with the ability to oversee very large projects. Negotiation and leadership skills. Creative problem solving, and definitely a flexible approach. Your salary. Normal graduate salary, it's a bit under the normal graduate salary. Sometimes they start around 23,500 to 26,500, but that does go up to 30. Even if you're a non-member of the Institution of Civil Engineers, your salary will rise with experience, even though the salary starts at a little bit under what I would expect for a graduate. So if you're a non-member of the Institution of Civil Engineers, your salary will average around 30,000, but you're quite limited if you don't join the Institution of Civil Engineers. For members of the Institute of Civil Engineers, you can go up to 50,000 in your salary. And if you're an ICE fellow or a fellow of the Institute of Civil Engineers, you can go up to around 80 to 81,000 a year, which is a fairly good salary. Your working hours, the average working week is around 42 hours. This may include some unsociable hours, and you'll sometimes have to work long hours and weekends, but that won't be all the time. You can qualify to be a consulting civil engineer in 3 ways. The first way is A-levels. The second way is engineering at college. And the third way is as an apprenticeship. For A-levels, we'll start off. You need at least 5 GCSEs at grade 5 and above, including maths, English and science. You will need a good science GCSE in order to do a good science A-level. So you will need those qualifications to start your A-levels, and I would suggest doing 3. Some universities accept 2 A-levels, but do 3 because it improves or increases your points to get into university, your UCAS points. So science subjects and mathematics, and you'll need at least a C or a B in maths and science subjects and English to get into A-levels. When it comes to college, though, you'll need an engineering level 3 to get into university. However, if you don't get the initial grades at school for your GCSEs and you're missing, say, one of the qualifications, you can actually start engineering at college at a lower level, like at a level 1 or a level 2, and then progress up towards the level 3 and then on to university. So the good thing about college is you can start at a lower level, and it's much more practical and hands-on, which is going to be, I think, better for engineering. But the problem is you need a lot of theoretical as well as practical hands-on. So the A-levels would be very good for the theory, and the college is better for the practical. But obviously both institutions will teach you the whole range. So the last way is an apprenticeship. To get into an apprenticeship though, especially an advanced one, you will need good GCSEs. So I will stick to the 5 GCSEs, definitely maths and English. And you'll need a good CV and a good interview manner. And so you'll need help with interview skills, maybe get yourself a good CV together, because when you go for an apprenticeship, you're entering the real world. It's a real job. You're doing a qualification on the side, but it is a real job. Advanced apprenticeship is your A-level standards. So to get onto that, you'll need really good GCSEs to get onto an advanced apprenticeship. And then you can do a higher or a degree apprenticeship, which obviously you'll do a degree whilst you work for the company that you work for. So you kind of earn as you learn. So you've got A-levels at sixth form college, which you need 5 GCSEs for straight away. 3 A-levels I would suggest doing in your science and your math subjects. You can go to college and do your level 3 in engineering, or if you need to, work up from level 1, level 2, then level 3 in engineering. Or you can go straight into an apprenticeship if you feel that you're ready to enter the adult working world and you have a good interview manner and good GCSEs. And definitely for all 3 qualifications must have an interest, a passionate interest and ability in engineering. So you of course need an honours degree to be qualified as a civil engineer, and you need to be accredited by the Institute of Civil Engineers. This is essential if you want to move on to become a chartered engineer. You can enter the profession as a graduate with a BSc or another engineering discipline, but progression could be a bit limited. But to achieve chartered membership of the Institute of Chartered Engineers, Civil Engineers, the first stage is taking your master's degree. So you have to go to postgraduate level, and or following a suitable apprenticeship, which takes you up to that level. The second stage of that would involve an Institute of Civil Engineers approved training scheme. Final stage is to meet the requirements of the professional review. So there's quite a few stages to go through if you want to go right up to chartered level. But of course, the money would be a lot more if you become chartered. So yeah, the ICE website, www.ice.org.uk, would be really useful for extra information on the Institute of Civil Engineers and membership of. Okay, so will you enjoy being a consulting civil engineer? Now, I've gone through all of my self-discovery videos, and these are the types that fit engineering. So if you haven't yet watched any of my self-discovery videos on motivators, Myers-Briggs, Gardners, please do so. It will help you learn a lot more about yourself, and so that you're sure that you're doing the right thing and going into the right job for you. So the best motivators would be the creator, of course. You're the designer. You need to be a creator, the expert or the specialist, and the builder. What the builder's motivation is to gain money and material satisfactions. And with engineering, you have scope to earn a good salary. So I put that as a motivator. So money, specialism, and being a creator and an innovator are the 3 main motivators. But watch my video and you'll see the other motivators too. You might find it's that motivator for you. Myers-Briggs types, there's 10 of them that would match engineering. So if you're one of those Myers-Briggs types, then you would be matched to engineering. Gardner's 9 intelligences, the top 2 I would say would be your number and logic smart and your picture smart, because picture smart is about being able to picture a 3D object in space and a designer needs that. So number and logic smart, picture smart, and then after that you need body smart, you need word smart, and you need social smart because you're working together. But the top two is going to be your number and logic and your picture smart. Then your Gallup Strengths Finder. If you've watched the video on my Gallup Strengths Finder, I would put these following strengths to consulting, engineering, futuristic, your designer, arranger, arranging all the details, deliberative, looking out for the risks, discipline, being following procedures and rules and policies and making sure things are done by the book and properly. Restorative, making something better, restoring it from something rubbish and making it better. Communication, adaptability, changing plans at a minute's notice. Analytical, ideation, and strategic. They're your top strengths on Strengths Finder. Then you have your Belbin team role, quite across the board there. A plant could do it, an implementer, a monitor evaluator, specialist like the expert. You definitely need to be a team worker and a resource investigator, but the top ones are going to be plant and implementer. The other ones are like team worker and resource investigator, are part of the job, but they're not the main parts of the job. And then in the Honey and Mumford, if you're going to be an engineer, you're more likely to be a pragmatist or an activist. But watch the video if you're not sure what that means. I hope you found my video on consulting civil engineers useful today. I'm a professional careers advisor, but new to putting this on YouTube. So please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon because I have plans to upload much more stuff. If you like the video, please click the thumbs up button. If you want to email me, you can email me at katie@careertalents.co.uk, or you can go to my website at careertalents.co.uk, and I'm going to put links to my Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram in the description box, so you can link to me and contact me through social media if you so desire. But as ever, guys, when you're looking for a career, search the soul within you. Look at your personality, look at your abilities, look at your passions, your interests, your motivations before you make any decisions at all. Because you don't want to be making errors this early on. If you can make the right decisions earlier, you'll be a lot more successful. And it's all about analysing you. Okay, so always look to yourself when you're looking for work. See you next time.